Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to challenge you with a very hard truth. Your ICP is a lie. It did not help you win more deals, it helped you waste more money. And I learned that the hard way after burning 100 200k chasing perfect fit logos, your target account list, your must have accounts, every single one ghosted after discovery. In this video, you will walk away with a system that predicts which accounts will actually move before they do. And by the end of this series, you will know how the top 1% of marketers read motion, not demographics. And they build pipeline that never stalls. 99% of the industry is still building marketing around fiction. Job titles, goals, fake empathy slides. The top 1%, they build systems around organizational movement. So the real question isn't who your buyer is, it is how fast they are changing. And that one shift can turn a dead funnel into a living, self-updating GTM engine. Let's break down why your ICP just cost you millions and how to fix it. I want to start off with the ICP failure and the moment I realized I was lying to myself. Let me tell you the moment I realized my entire ICP model was a lie. Not a mistake, a lie. We spent 6 months, 9 months chasing 200, 300 companies that matched our ideal customer profile. Every checkbox was green, every slide looked beautiful, and every single deal died before discovery. And here is what hurt the most. It wasn't because we were bad marketers, it is because we are operating like the 99%. We weren't reading movement, we were reading labels. And labels don't buy, organizations in motion do. Right? So this is where the top 1% separate themselves. They stop guessing who fits and start predicting who shifts. Right? There was this one dream account, 10,000 employees, beautiful tech stack, and perfect persona match. I literally remember telling my leadership team, if this one closes, it's a 1.5 million pipeline inflection. Right? We built custom decks, ROI calculators, POCs. We got the data, we ran workshop, and then nothing. No email, no meeting. They just vanished. And 2 months later, we found out why. Right? They had just shifted into cost freeze mode after a new CFO took over. Now our ICP didn't fail, your time changed and we didn't, right? And this is the part most marketers never admit. We think ICP makes us strategic, but reality, ICP makes us feel safe. The top 1% don't chase safety, they chase signal. If you have ever said, but this company fits our ICP perfectly, you have already lost the deal. Because there are 3 invisible leaks inside every ISP. The number 1 is the time freeze. Your ICP is based on a 18-month-old data in a market that changes every 30-45 days. Okay. Leak 2 is dead precision. The more specific your ICP, the more blind you become to motion. And the leak 3 is your CRM echo. Your CRM keeps recommending lookalikes based on dead deals. So here is the twist nobody admits, right? ICPs don't help you find ideal customers. They help you justify why your pipeline isn't growing. They are a psychological safety net, not an operating system. And this is exactly why this series exists. In episode 1, we expose the problem, persona frees time, motion drives revenue. In today's episode, I'm going to give you the operating system that will replace ICP for you. And by the end of the series, you will be able to walk into any room, sales, leadership, and scientifically predict who will buy in the next 30, 60, 90 days. But before you learn the system, you need to understand the engine behind it, context. And once you see context, your ICP will look like astrology. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Your ICP didn't fail because it was inaccurate. It failed because it was static, and buyers are not. Fit tells you what looks like a buyer. Motion tells you who is becoming one. Right? And only one of these predicts revenue. And think about the last time you lost a deal. Did you lose because they didn't fit your ICP, or because something changed inside their organization? New CFO, new budget, new priority, new fire, right? Exactly. So your ICP can't see movement. Top 1% use a lens that can. So this is your context grid, right? The operating system that replaces persona, right? It's simple. Y-axis is momentum, how fast the company is changing. X-axis is compatibility, how deeply your solution fits their current motion. And multiply these two and you get something ICP can never give you, a revenue motion score. So this is what I recommend. Run this grid on your must-have account or your target account list, and you will see that there's a 10-20% that will sit at the top right quadrant, right? And that 10-20% will produce 60, 70, 80% of closed win revenues. Personas don't predict it, context does. And this is where the elite marketers separate from the herd. Anyone can guess who fits. The top 1% can forecast who's about to move. And when you know motion, every conversation feels like you are reading their mind. One of my clients from my fractional CMO days spent a year chasing cloud security companies, the perfect ICP. But when we scored them on this context grid, 60% of them were in different posture, meaning zero new spend. Then we scored mid-market, BFSI firms. Their momentum skyrocketed, right? So they closed one of the biggest deals in the quarter, not because of persona, but because of movement. So ask yourself, right? Are you building campaigns for who your buyer is, or for how fast they are changing? Because the difference between these two is the difference between top 1% marketer and everyone else. Now that you have seen the context grid, here is where the top 1% take it further. They don't just score accounts, they forecast them. Because predicting who can buy is useful, predicting when they'll buy is almost like priceless. Priority velocity is simple. How quickly does an initiative rise, peak, or decay inside an organization? Every priority has a shelf life, right? Marketing becomes unstoppable when you measure it. When you map priority velocity, if you find that AI Copilot was a 45-day hype spike while security modernization was a 120-day slow burn, guess which one produces real pipeline? The one with momentum, not excitement, right? Average marketers chase interest. Top 1% chase velocity. So because velocity tells you exactly when to enter, when to push, and when to walk away. Let me give you the simplest truth in B2B, right? Budget is the strongest signal and the easiest one to ignore. Think of BMI and in this case budget momentum index, right? And the budget momentum index tracks 3 inputs over 14 days, right? So you look at, let's say, hiring trend, you look at vendor addition, you look at cost cut signals. So the positive budget movement index will be expansion mode, right? And when the BMI is steady, you see that it's on defend mode, and negative BMI is freeze mode, right? So if you are going to score your 80 accounts, 90 accounts, 120 accounts, right? You only a few will fit into this positive budget movement index, and you'll be able to close those accounts faster because you aren't chasing ICP, you're chasing momentum. Now here is the part that nobody will tell you, right? When you combine your priority velocity and budget momentum, you stop doing demand gen, you start doing revenue forecasting, right? Accounts with high priority velocity and high budget movement index enter into a state like hot zone, right? Where a 30 to 90 day window where buying pressure spikes before they ever fill out a form or attend an event. If you enter the hot zone first, you own the deal before competitors know it exists. This is why top 1% marketers feel unstoppable. They see deals months before sales sees them. They read transformation, not titles. They operate like strategists, not campaign manager. But here is the twist, right? Priority, velocity, and budget movement index only tell you where movement is forming. Episode 3 is where I show you how to track movement in real time, right? Even when companies hide it. It's called momentum mapping. And once you learn it, you will never look at your pipeline the same way again. Let's zoom out. You have seen the leaks, you have seen the movement, you have seen why ICPs cost teams millions without them realizing it. But if you truly want to operate in the top 1%, you must learn to do one thing that 99% never do, right? Audit reality. Tomorrow morning, run this test, right? And this test will expose the rot in your pipeline, right? Pull your list of closed lost accounts and mark their posture at time, right? Whether it's expand, demand, freeze, right? Now, not every leadership change within 30 days of your outreach. Calculate this number, right? Context alignment rate. So deals where momentum plus posture aligned, and you divide it by 50 because of the number of closed lost accounts, right? If the closed lost account is 50. The global benchmark for high growth SaaS is, let's say, 60% alignment, right? The average team we audit is, let's say, 35%, which means 65% of their pipeline wasn't pipeline, it was an illusion. And illusions don't just waste budget, they waste months of sales cycle, they waste trust within your reps, they waste credibility with your leadership. Every misaligned ICP campaign adds drag to your career and velocity to someone else. This is why most marketers stay stuck at execution level while a tiny group rises to the operator level. Operators don't chase personas, they chase motion. They don't target companies, they kind of read organizations. If you're still here, you're not 99%. You're not here for hacks, little tweaks, template, or copy paste ICPs, right? You're here because you know one thing: your GTM deserves physics, not fiction. You are contextualist, someone who sees pattern before the market does, someone who spots motion or momentum before competitors can smell it, someone who doesn't wait for revenue. You kind of predict it. If this episode opened a door for you, join my newsletter. The link is in the comment box. And remember this, you don't become a top 1% marketer by knowing more. You become top 1% by seeing sooner. Earlier detection, earlier activation, and earlier truth. Because everything we have covered so far only answers one question: is this account alive? But the next episode answers a much more important questions: which accounts will move next? That's where the momentum mapping comes in, the system that reveals buying motion before it hits your CRM. We're going to map hidden triggers, invisible shift, and organizational signals most marketers never even notice. The 99% react, the top 1% anticipate. And welcome to the top 1%. Let's build the operating system that help you stay there. So I'll see you next week. Until then, cheers.